Hi, I'm Dr. Hartlett with Integral Medical and Rehabilitation here in Vernon Hills. Welcome back to our Doctors In series, where today we're going to be discussing low back and sciatic pain. For most of us, we've been at home for the last 15 months in makeshift home office spaces. This contributes greatly to low back and sciatic issues. So let's define that a little bit better. This is pain or discomfort in the low back that travels into the hip, legs, and feet. Some common symptoms or signs would be a sharp, searing pain, or even a dull ache, stiffness, soreness, achiness, numbness and tingling in the legs or feet, as well as muscle cramps or spasms. These symptoms can occur intermittently, sporadically, regularly, or constantly. Patients will try to alleviate these symptoms with the use of over-the-counter medications, prescription medications, home exercise stretches, as well as the use of ice and heat. Let's take a moment and show you a few stretches you can do on your own at home. You're going to want to hold these stretches for at least 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what type of symptoms you have. The first is the low back stretch, which helps stretch the muscles of the back. I'm going to demonstrate that right behind me. As we sit on the edge of a chair, we want to have both hands on our knees with our knees bent in a 90-degree position. There's no sidedness with this stretch, so we're just going to go straight forward, and we're going to lower ourselves down to the elbows, resting on the knees, and try and touch the hand to the floor as best we can. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds to a minute, and then using our hands placed on our knees, pushing back up to keep the back muscles relaxed. This is really important. Again, let me show you that in full motion. Going down, touching the floor, doesn't matter if it's right or left, and then using our hands to bolster ourselves back up, just like so. That's going to help stretch the muscles of the low back and keep them loose. The next is our hamstring stretch, which will help take pressure off the hips to alleviate low back and hip issues. We're going to extend one leg out. We can use this on either side. I'm going to demonstrate the right side today, but please feel free to use the left as well. We'll use one hand on the knee and the other hand on the opposite leg, sliding down as we lean over that hamstring, fully extending the knee, pointing the toes towards our nose. We're going to try and stretch as far as we can. For some of us, we might be able to touch our toes. That's great. Just make sure that knee is completely locked out and tight. We're going to hold that stretch for 30 seconds to a minute, and then using the opposite arm, push off the knee to keep those muscles relaxed. Again, in full motion, I'll show you this. Sliding down, holding 30 seconds to a minute, and then using the opposite arm to push off the knee to get out of the stretch. This third stretch is our glute stretch. This is what helps stretch the glute maximus muscle to alleviate tightness and soreness around the hips and hopefully alleviate some of that back issue that we're having. We're going to take the leg crossed over. Again, I'm going to demonstrate on the right, but you can use this for both legs. We're going to take that hand and place it on the opposite side of the knee, pulling up across the midline to the opposite shoulder right here. You're going to hold that stretch for 30 seconds to a minute, and then relax the knee back down slowly. That is a glute stretch. Let me show you that one more time. Pulling up across the midline, holding for 30 seconds to a minute, and then relaxing. You can use that other hand to steady the ankle so it doesn't slide down or off of the knee. It's a really great stretch to alleviate some of the hip issues we might have. For many of you who have tried some of these options with little to no improvement and are still looking for relief, contact our office for a free consultation. I'm Dr. Hartlett with Integral Medical and Rehabilitation here in Vernon Hills. See you at our next video, The Doctor's In.